Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero Snow Job. And yes, my Snow Job has seen better days when his suit was all white. But we're going to be taking a look at him, everything that he does come with, his skis, his poles, his gun, which is not his original gun, and I know because it flexes a lot, but it looks the exact same. I have to have the original somewhere, or I'll probably eventually get it. Again, but this is for my own collection. I'm not too worried if I don't have his original one. It's not like I'm selling it, especially not in this condition. But anyway, we're going to take a look at him, see what he comes with. I think we all kind of remember this figure and him skiing down the slope, which was awesome. And hey, you know what? If you have a story, tell me. Did you get this? Because, hey, you know what? I live in a northern state. I live in Michigan, Minnesota, New York. We have hills, and I used to love it. Did you live in Arizona? Did you live in Florida, Texas? And you're like, why do I need a guy that's in a snowsuit with skis, and all I have is desert out here? I want to hear the stories. Maybe you're an active skier. Maybe your dad was, and he just saw this and was like, you know what? You got to have the skier guy, and maybe that's what brought you into the love of G.I. Joe. But anyway, we're going to take a look at him, go over his articulation, what he comes with, what is on him, and then that'll be it. I don't know what else there is to say. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to get out of here. We're going to take a look at this. So please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. All right, so we got Snow Job here, and I actually got him standing upright. And what we'll do is as we always like to do, you see him start falling. It's pretty heavy on the back. Is we'll look at his accessories first. So I will start by saying this is not his original gun, as it has some flex to it. The original didn't. I thought it was. I do believe I have at least one of these. If not, like I said, I'm not looking to sell this at all. But it has some nice detail. You get your trigger right there, no trigger guard, as you obviously don't need a trigger guard or you can't use it because they don't have trigger fingers. Nice little design here, so that's where he's going to be able to hold on to it if it was real. You got your nice little barrel. This is the laser rifle. You got your stock right there. And this here is what I always just assumed was supposed to be where you would have a sling, which I called a strap at the time. But again, always some nice little detail. This can kind of plug into somewhere if need be. They never did anything like that, but it always reminded me of the Cobra Commander laser pistol that kind of plugged in. On here, we have the backpack and his... slowly pop this thing off. Again, if I can't get it off, I'm not going to... there we go. There's his poles. So we have the nice little backpack here. All right, so here, a couple little pouches. I be 100% honest, I've never even noticed in my entire life. You got your nice little pouch right there. You get the handle here, so he can kind of walk around with it. And I love the fact that they made this so the poles just popped in right there, and then you could obviously plug the skis in there, so you didn't have to worry about him, not being able to walk around with everything. As for the poles, which are the same on both sides, all right, you got the little straps. They're gonna hold it on if he falls. You can see the handle, and then you can see the poles, which are again, they're bent, but this is what's gonna happen over time. They are thinner, and they open up at the bottom, and then you do have the little sharp piece. Now, I don't ski, but I've been around skiers when I was snowboarding. That is exactly how a pole really does look. And it does have some flexibility. As for the skis, again, you can see have seen some better days. You just have the peg for the foot, and it did fit pretty well. All right, so this did slide in pretty good. It does skip up here. This way, when you're actually going down the slope, you want the snow to be going underneath it. I believe today, most of them have at least a little bit of a kick at the back. just kind of like a snowboard and a skateboard, in case you are rolling or not rolling, in case you're sliding backwards. But again, nice little detail. As for Snow Job himself here, again, you can see that this figure has been weathered. I believe parts of this may be my original Snow Job. I have had numerous ones and I've swapped them out because I've had a beard that has been worn away. But we're going to take a look at this here. So he's got this nice red beard. He's got the goggles that are obviously protecting his eyes. He seems a much darker tone, and maybe that's from all the windburn. Actually, when you're out in the sun is that much more... when you're out in the snow, the sun is actually that much more powerful because of the rays bouncing off of the snow. You do have the his helmet, his hood, and you can see the nice little detail in it. So it does look like it is a little bit furrier. You can see it has a little bit of wear on it here, and then a tag. I don't never really notice the tag. On the back here, you have the straps that I'm going to assume are for the backpack. But again, even if he's not wearing it, he still has this piece on here that it looks like it is connected to. A couple little pouches here. Looking at the detail, you don't see any like buttons or zipper because this would flap over to keep the air from coming in. Little pouch on his biceps, also on his forearms here, which look like they're actually part of the gloves. And I kind of remember some snowboarding gloves having something very similar. Then you have a nice black belt that goes across it. A couple little pouches. All right, you can see where the little clasp is here. And then underneath it, you can just see where the actual jacket is hanging out, which I think is nice. It's something that they, just some details that you don't really notice. Here on the side, you're going to get a black pouch, and then you're going to have one that's just in the same color. Here you have his holster for where he's going to hold his pistol. That unfortunately doesn't come with, and then you have a pouch down here. This here is a nice attention to detail, as when you go snowboarding or anything like that, the actual pants will cuff around, and either they have elastic or even a lot of them have drawstrings, so you can tighten it so you don't have, well, so there's less worry about snow riding up inside, and that's the last thing you really want. So there's your Snow Job. As for his articulation, I still don't have the heads that bend down yet. He can turn side to side, and there's a peg in the back that keeps him from doing a full 360 like The Exorcist. There's your T-pose. O-Ring's never going to have a problem with that. He can move his hands or his arms all the way around. 90-degree bend on all of them. No wrist swivel, which does make it, I guess it makes it harder. Boom. There went Private Director Destro. He almost made it to the outhouse before he fell. It just makes it harder to get a nice looking pose, but as kids it didn't really matter. He has the O-ring, again, can turn side to side. There's his Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is actually pretty good, but these figures are really meant to sit like this. And a 90-degree bend at the knees right there. And this guy's actually still pretty, still a pretty stiff figure. A lot of tight joints, which is good. I know I didn't really make any modifications to it. So we're going to throw this on here. We'll throw the skis on him, if only because he's a lot easier to pose or to stand up, because this guy does not really want to stand up at all. Can I get one of the ski poles in his hands? Well, I will say it again. If you have to press it, don't. Not a lot of, not a big issue there. All right. We got his gun. See how that one comes off really easily. But again, I would rather them be loose than too tight, because at some point you're just going to break the peg, his heel on him. So anyway, there you go. There is your Snow Job, real American hero. Again, wonderful looking figure. I can't say anything negative about this guy. All right, so there you have it. That is the A Real American Hero snow job with the skis that don't really want to stay on. You always got to be careful. Anything with this, the foothold, the foot pegs. Over time, these things will break. So you got to be very, very careful with it. Luckily with this, it slides up. I'd rather be a little loose where you have to use sticky tack rather than be too big and it breaks out the heel on this. But anyway, tell me what you thought about this figure. Tell me if you had them, if you had to get a polar bear to go with. Not saying the polar bear is coming next, but it just might be. Anyway, tell me about this guy. Did you like him? Did you not care for him? Did you think he wasn't the best of all the snow figures? They were your toys, and we all had experiences with it. I love to hear your story about these G.I. Joe figures and what you actually thought. But I am going to get out of here, but please, you stayed this long. Take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review of a G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and God knows there are a lot, and I got a lot of content for you to come, which hopefully you guys really do enjoy. But right now I'm going to get out of here. Right now you're thinking, I need a Marine to go with this guy. Right here is going to be gung-ho, and down here will be a playlist of all the G.I. Joe, Real American Hero classic reviews that I've done. Take care.